Good morning. I'm Coach Ricardo Miller, and I am continuing my talk that I felt inspired to bring to my community. And so I'm so grateful that you guys are joining me this morning. This one is going to be one for the record books, guys. I'm a strong believer that it's important for us to discover what we need to know that can help us to get to where we're trying to go. Okay? Life is filled with principles, laws that governs humanity. And when you understand the principle and you apply the principle, you get the fruit, you get the reward, you get the benefit of taking the time to discover what you need to discover. One of the things that I've learned over the past few years is that there is a right way to live and then there's a wrong way to live. Okay? Now, there are a lot of people that are settling, but I believe in order to live life effectively, you have to make a commitment. I am not settling. I am not settling. What's best for you is available to you. Let me say that again. What's best for you is available to you. But you don't want to live a life of regret. You don't want to find yourself on the street of regret where you're frustrated and you're regretful and you're at a place where, my goodness, I can't believe this. So what I'm going to do this morning is I'm going to share with you what I've discovered to be 10 signs of an unhealthy relationship. Yep. Now, I was given these topics, and if you have a topic you would like for me to talk about, drop it in the note section or DM me. Go ahead, just say, reach out and say, Ricardo, you need to talk on this. Okay? Now, if I don't know enough on the subject matter, I'll bring one of my friends in and we'll talk about it together. Okay? So do me a favor. If there's something you want me to talk about on this platform, on our way, I call it our way, you're part of the community. If you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe. Okay? Please subscribe to this channel. But on your way, I want you to know that it is important to just address all of the subject matters related to you creating that life you don't need a vacation from. Okay? That's what it's all about. You want to take control of your life and you want to find yourself getting better over time where every area of your life is coming together. So I wrote a book. It's called Effective Living. Okay? It's the guide. Okay? It's the must-read book for 2021. Go to my website and order your copy today. If you don't want to live a life of regret, get the book. Subscribe to the channel. You won't regret it. Let's dive into this. Are y'all ready for me to dive into this? Okay? Here's what I want you to know. There are healthy signs that a relationship is heading in the right way, and then there are unhealthy signs that a relationship is heading in the wrong way. Some people have not taken the time to identify what is an unhealthy sign. What will not be right for me that's going to ultimately hurt me? Okay? I want to know what's not right for me that's going to hurt me. And I want to know what can I be doing possibly that can hurt someone else that I have not addressed in me that could be a problem. So you're on a journey to become your best self, but also for the people that you're going to connect with, you want to be the best version of yourself in connecting with them. No, now, not the best version of yourself as to what you have accepted, but the best version of yourself in all honesty after discovering that there are behaviors that one may need to change because you've been practicing it for a while, but it is an unhealthy behavior. Okay? So with that said, I'm going in. For those of you that don't know, I'm Coach Ricardo Miller once again. I'm from the islands, originally from the Bahamas, and I'm coming live out of Dallas, Texas, and the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I love the city. I love the Bahamas. I woke up this morning thinking, I hadn't been to the Bahamas in 12 months. Wow, that's big. That's major. I'm coming back home, y'all. Coming home soon. Got a lot of work to do there in the Bahamas. And so let's dive into the talk. If you can, write a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think about each point. If you think there is an additional point that I'm not saying or adding or bringing light to, let's dive into it together. All right? So, number one, 10 signs that you're in an unhealthy relationship. Okay, 10 signs you're in an unhealthy relationship. Number one, you fight a lot. You fight a lot. Yeah. And I'm not talking about no, just a little indifference. I'm not talking about napping occasionally back and forth at each other. I'm talking about literally you both are going at each other. Mm. And it is irritating. It's frustrating to the neighbors. It's embarrassing to the children. Just you don't want to leave each other, but you just can't stand each other. You fight a lot. Okay, so you're connected to someone that you and them, you find yourselves, both persons, but somebody's going at the other person all the time. Very, very unhealthy position. You say, well, we have learned how to get along with each other. I don't know if that's getting along, but you've obviously learned how to accept that as an acceptable behavior. When the reality of it is, there are people around you that's being influenced by your behavior. If you have children, they could be starting to practice this behavior after a while, only to find themselves bringing that on to somebody who doesn't want to be in a relationship that's constantly fighting and constantly believing that that's love. Okay? In other words, I mean, there's this constant fight, and I mean, just constant going at each other. And I'm talking about sometimes it gets so, I mean, it can get so bad that there are some people who the law enforcement have been called, and then when the police shows up, you know, we're just having an intense conversation. We're just having an intense. Now, don't get me wrong. There will always be little indifferences, and there will be always little light levels of clashes that will two persons coming together having to learn how to walk and work together, and someone is going to irritate the other person. But that's not what I'm talking about. That's not. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You have seen that couple that just, my God, why are they together? Why are they together? They fight so much. And neither of them don't realize it is just sort of an unhealthy situation. Stress at the highest level because they treat each other bad when it comes to the level of anger and anguish and dislike and dealings with each other. But they're staying together. All right. Number two, it's my way or the highway type of person. You're in a relationship where it's my way or the highway. Unhealthy. Unhealthy. Whenever you get to the point where you're in a relationship where someone is telling you it's my way or the highway, you need to start preparing yourself to get out of there. Run. Now, here's the deal. You may not be positioned to get out of there right now, but you need to start positioning yourself so when they say again, it's my way or the highway, guess what? You can take the highway. Come on. Come on. You could take the highway. There are a lot of people who tolerate the behavior of it's my way or the highway is because they don't have no option. They don't have any option, or they feel as though they don't have any option. Okay? And so you got to know you were not created to live encaged and suppressed and forced. Okay? It's my way. The highway is not the way to treat someone you love. It's not healthy. And anybody that's doing it, male or female, needs to examine themselves and ask themselves, why are you so hostile? Why are you so strong? Why are you coming off so aggressive? It's my way or the highway. And then the person who's hearing that and staying in that, why are you staying with somebody who's saying it's my way or the highway? Now, you know, I know that there comes a time where if you're in a relationship, you're connected so well in this relationship in the perception stage of it, meaning the look of it, you know, what my family is going to think if I take the highway. What, you know, oh my goodness, what are those on my job thing? Those who I went to school with, you will be amazed. You will be amazed the amount of people that are focusing on their relationship only based on others, people's perception, and not on their health, not on the position that they need to be looking at in relations to how am I doing in this relationship? It's my way or the highway. Guess what? Structure yourself in a way whenever that is said to you again, you want to be able to take the highway. Because it's not the way a person's supposed to treat someone they love. Okay? The next one is you feel guilty all the time. You feel guilty. You're not comfortable enough to learn to accept the decisions you're having to make. You're not comfortable enough to show up the way you're showing up. You're constantly feeling some kind of way about how and what's happening. You're feeling guilty. And it's because the behavior that is coming across to you is causing you to start to reflect on the way things are the wrong way. Now, here's the deal. And I'm going to talk about a number of points that is important that I don't think you should allow yourself to feel some kind of way because of someone, actually. I think there's a more mature position, a more developed position that you can dive into as a mature, growing adult. Okay? I'm going to talk more about that in a few minutes. But when I say you're feeling guilty, you're feeling guilty, you know, there are people who are trying to do what's best for them, but they're having to apologize for what they're doing that's best for them. I'm feeling guilty because I'm trying to save and you're not trying to save, and I can't tell you I'm trying to save. I'm feeling some kind of way because I am learning and you're not interested in learning, but now I can't. I just feel bad because, you know what? I got the degree and he did not get the degree. I got a bonus. Why are you feeling bad? What's going on there? You should not be feeling bad. You should be feeling glad. Okay? But you want to make sure that you're in a relationship where you're not feeling guilty about anything as to how you're showing up and how you're responding to life. You want to connect in a healthy enough way where both parties are learning to shine together. Okay? There will be times where you both are different. Obviously, you're two individuals that's coming together to walk and learn and to live life out together. And whatever is going on in your life, from a progressive standpoint, from a more engaged standpoint, you should not feel guilty about. You should not feel guilty about. Next one is it's the relationship. This is number 4. The relationship is one-sided. The relationship is one-sided. There is no instruction coming from the other side. It's only coming from one side. Okay? It's only coming from one side. And it could be a male or it could be a female, but at the end of the day, it's one-sided. And as soon as the other side decide to say something, they're suppressed, they're discouraged, they're talked down to, they're not even considered. Here's what kind of movies we're going to watch. Here's where we're going to go on a date. Here's what we're going to do this summer. Here's how we're going to. Here's how. It's the telling the man that someone brings to a relationship rather than the conversation and the engaging of two persons coming together to connect, to ensure that whatever happens, it's happening for both parties good. But see, that's a developed position. And there are some men who come into a relationship and they're controlling. They're controlling and it's dangerous. There are some women who come into a relationship and they're controlling. More so, a lot would say, it's more of a guy thing. Most guys will try to overdone. I'm the head, I'm the man, it's my way. Going back to that, my way or the highway. In this case, it's more than just it's my way or the highway. It's just whatever he wants. Whatever he wants is what he gets. It's sort of not the right way to go about it in today's society and the time we're living in. You got to understand, they're seeing 100 years ago. They're seeing 50 years ago. They're seeing 25 years ago. Times have changed. And here's the deal. There is no, he's in charge of everything. It's we are in charge of everything. It's us learning how to walk together, live together, enjoy life together, make decisions that's best for us together. Because sometimes you can have the title, but not the wisdom that comes with the title. You may have the position, but not have the skill set to bring about the best results with the position you have. So for the men that are watching this, yes, you are so-called the head of the home, but if you don't have the skill to navigate this home in a direction that can carry the home in the best place that it needs to go over a few years period, over a few decades, you may need to bow back a little bit and allow the influence of the better person to instruct and to help the situation, because you don't want to be a demanding person trying to have a certain kind of way when the reality of it is you're not the best in certain areas to go so hard on, it's got to be my way. It's got to be. And that happens also, that there are some women who have positioned themselves, it's her way, whatever she wants. And so that statement, watch this, where whatever she wants, give it to her, that's not a healthy statement. That's not a healthy, that's not healthy. And then whatever he wants, give it to him, that's not healthy either. So, Ricardo, what are you saying? You need help. If you find yourself in a relationship where there is not balance, where there is not a healthy dialogue going on to make sure that both persons are in the most healthiest of engagement in the relationship as you're moving forward. Healthy relationship requires work. Okay? Healthy relationships requires work. A lot of people aren't willing to put in the work after they've already met, capture, or connect with the person. They settle. And what happens is, a lot of times, people become damaged, hurt, abused, taken advantage of, because they sit too long in a bad environment dealing with a person who's practicing habits and things that's just not right. And what happens over time, if the relationship eventually ends, it's amazing how distorted they can be in relations to what's a healthy relationship. What's a healthy relationship? Get to the point where you're in pursuit of balance. You want a healthy relationship. You don't want a controlling relationship. Okay? You want a healthy relationship. You don't want a controlling relationship. So that one-sided thing, that's not going to work. I believe that the best person with the most informed decision or most informed understanding in relations to whatever decision that needs to be made needs to make the decision. What's best for us? Okay? I want to go out, and we're going to go out and eat every Saturday month. We can't afford to go out and eat. I don't care. I just told you we're going to go out and eat. And, well, you always get what you want. Well, what you're doing is you're hurting us and not helping us. And if you keep living that way, you're going to find yourself in a very bad state or alone. A one-sided situation kills the spirit in the other person who feels as though they're never having a say or never being able to be heard. Okay? Next one is they put you down. An unhealthy relationship is where you find that the person is always putting you down. Male or female, once again, male or female. It's an unfortunate case, but it happens. Person already got you, and they feel as though they got you on lock. Okay, financially they got you on lock. You know, you feel good because here's the deal: they insult you, they make you feel bad, and then they pretty good in bed, so you sexually engage, and so you get that emotional connection going on, and then you forget for a while, but now you know you ain't feeling good about yourself because they talk down to you. Putting someone down is toxic. It's unhealthy. It's unfair. It's not the way to go. And if someone is talking down to you, constantly putting you down, I don't know why you're going back to school. I don't know why you're trying to save any money. You ain't gonna do nothing with the money. I don't know why you're waking up and exercising. It's just, you know what? You're always busy. What in the world? Why are you so always busy? This don't make no sense. It's just this constant. That's not going to do you any good. You ain't losing no weight at all. You know, you're terrible with money. And I mean, I'm telling you, you don't touch my money. Just don't touch my money, because you know what? You're not good at money at all. Oh my goodness, when are you going to get a position? You're the only person they haven't promoted. It's not encouraging, it's discouraging. When you find yourself in a relationship where it's not encouraging, it's discouraging, you need to examine that relationship. Here's something that I found out that is very healthy. I think that every couple, rather than wait to go for counseling, when you're in crisis, you need to go for counseling just as an annual checkup. Just like we do with the doctor. I go to my doctor every year, once a year. I have my annual checkup. But guess what? Because I realize at 45 years old, I need to make sure that I do whatever I need to do to make sure that this body is on point. I'm not only going during the time I have my annual checkup, I'm going anytime I feel a little something. Anytime I feel a little some kind of way about my body, I want to find it because I don't want anything wrong to start growing. In your relationship, you don't want anything wrong to start growing. And initially, when you meet someone, they start off good, but what mess they have in their life that has not been addressed, oftentimes it reveals itself a little bit later. So there are some people who fake it up to the point until they make it to get that long-term commitment with you. But unfortunately, guys, after a while, they start to reveal themselves. Now, if they start to reveal themselves, you now are locked in. If you're a believer and you're married, how can you walk away from your relationship? That's your husband. That's your wife. And now you know you got a bad deal and you got to live with a bad deal. And you're having to commonly work with this person who is living from a bad position. And you are covenantly agreeing to stay with them for life now. You need help. So here's what I highly suggest. Before you have a problem, go see a counselor. Before you have a problem, make sure y'all have a therapist and make sure that both parties sit down and talk through what's going on. I remember when I was sitting down with my therapist, she started asking me questions about my childhood. Oh my goodness, you grew up in a home where you didn't have your dad. You grew up in a home where you didn't see no man emotionally love and hug and kiss and engage your mother in the proper way to ensure that when you get married, you will be able to have some healthy examples. I mean, what you saw on the street in relation to how guys treated their girls was not proper. Oh man, how do you feel about that? Oh man, what's good stuff? Oh man, my therapist is the boss. Okay, good Christian counseling will help you. Good Christian therapy will help you out. Now, here's the deal: you want to make sure that your relationship is healthy. Now, it's an unhealthy situation where the person doesn't want help and need help. Unhealthy situation, unhealthy relationship. They need help, but they don't want help. Especially when you know the help that they need, if they get it, it's going to benefit you and the household. If they don't get it, it's going to continue to hurt you and the household. So look out for those types. Watch this. Number 6, they refuse to do anything that matters to you. Okay, this is an abusive relationship. Pay attention to it and run if you find yourself inside one of those situations where the person, they're only wanting to do what they focus on. They refuse to do whatever matters to you. They're totally disconnected to what matters to you. Now, here's the deal. There are some guys, there are some girls who don't know any better. Okay? They've never been taught to learn how to balance out the scope of making sure that there's a healthy connection between both persons' heart and interests. So I believe that in the courting of the relationship, in the development of the relationship, you dive in and say, listen, I don't want this to be one-sided. I don't want this to be where you are getting all that you desire and I'm in the relationship, but I'm starting to feel like I'm suffering. I'm starting to feel as though I'm losing. Okay? So the goal here is what matters to me should matter to you as well. What matters to you should matter to me as well. Well, if it doesn't start that way, we can get some help to make sure it starts to become that way, because that's the healthy way. It is unhealthy for only what matters to me matters. That is extremely unhealthy. And you want to put up, listen, man, you want to put up the red flag of alert. I see something that could be a problematic thing in this relationship. Okay? It matters to me, and that's all that matters, is a problem. Do you agree? Put a comment in the comment section. Do you agree? The whole term, only what matters to me matters, is a problem in a relationship. Okay? So here's the other one. They make you feel insecure. feels a little bit closer to a couple of points that I've mentioned before, but I want to dive into this. And once again, I wanted to highlight something. I don't really believe somebody can make you feel some kind of way. But some of us have been conditioned. We've developed ourselves in a way that we allow our feelings to be dictated by external circumstances, situations, or people. I believe that you should bring yourself to a state where you're controlling how you feel on the inside. But let me go ahead and highlight my point. You make a person feel insecure when you know they struggle with insecurity. If they struggle with insecurity, and this is a hot button for them. This is an area that's sensitive to them, but you're not helping them in that area. You're pushing the button in that area. I grew up in a culture in the Bahamas. If you're in the Bahamas, you guys will attest to this. I grew up in where in unhealthy relationships, and people would probably not say it was an unhealthy relationship, but commonly practiced in relationship, you see people hitting or low blowing the relationship, the person in the relationship under the belt at a low spot, and you know that's it's a sensitive area. It's a sensitive area. Whenever you're in a relationship and a person is always attacking the area that you're a little bit sensitive about, one, you need to pay attention to that, and two, you need to get help as to why you're sensitive about it. But then still, why is it that that person is choosing to give so much attention to an area that you know I'm feeling some kind of way about? I'm not quite over that area yet, but yet you're still pushing it there. And then you want to make sure that you're in the most healthiest of state and asking yourself, why am I feeling sensitive about a particular thing, when in reality, you know what? I want to be a growing person, learning how to not allow any area of my life to become an area that holds me back from experiencing greater life. Red flags, guys. You need to write down what red flags are to you, and that is unacceptable. And then you need to ask yourself, why is it a red flag? Why is it a red flag? And you need to be able to put it into work to know that. If you don't study what's good and what's right and what's wrong, if you don't study what's good and what's bad, chances are you can have something that's bad that you did not pay attention to. Because a lot of times when we start a relationship, it's all about feelings. It's not about facts. It's not about the reality. It's about feelings. Okay? And somewhat that can hurt you so bad because now you're committed. And if you got stuff like, you know what, there's some women, you know what, some men, same alike, you're committed to the sex because the sex is good. You're committed and connecting to with the money. The money is good, or you like how that person look on your shoulders. You like how that person is respected, or how she carries herself. And so all your friends think, oh my goodness, look who you are with. You're with her. Oh my goodness, look who you're with. You're with him. But at home, come on, at home, he talks to you like a dog. At home, she talks to you like a dog. Okay? I mean, it's bad. It's bad. So you want to pay attention to anyone that tries to keep pushing and challenging you in a negative way. Okay? So, next one. They're abusive. An unhealthy relationship. They're abusive. You know it's abuse. You know if a friend called you and told you, this is what's happening to me, you would call it out as abuse. But now it's happening to you, and you're saying he was just angry. That's when he's angry. Oh, you know what? She was having a bad day. Abuse is abuse. It's abnormal use. It's the wrong way of doing something. And there are all types of abuse that happens in relationship. And some people are so accustomed to connecting to one thing that they connect real strong to one thing, and they dismiss all of the other things. The abuse can be strong, but their addiction to security. In other words, listen, my lifestyle, I've never lived like this before. You know, no one in my family has ever lived like this before. And if I interrupt this relationship, I'm going to lose my lifestyle. I ain't going back, so I'm going to tolerate. The human spirit is interesting. The human being is interesting. We can tolerate some stuff if we choose to tolerate some stuff. And there are some people who are tolerating until enough becomes enough. But the unfortunate thing is, after you've been taken advantage of and abused, you become now damaged. And a lot of people don't do the work, because here's the deal. If you're in an unhealthy relationship and that relationship is abusive, you can find yourself never finding the true love that you should have in that of another person, because you did not take the time to address what was wrong in the previous relationship. And so now you can go into another relationship and be the unhealthy situation in a new relationship. So you want to watch the behavior. Yes, you want to watch. You want to pay attention. Okay? And here's the deal. This is sensitive stuff, because you're telling me I need to walk around like, no, I'm not. I'm just saying stay with your discerning spirit open. Ask the hard questions. Go where you have never gone before. Say what you have never said before. Early. Okay? And if you're already in a relationship and you're thinking, listen, this is an abusive relationship, get help. Get help. I teach my coaching clients, someone is assigned to help you. You can never create a life you don't need a vacation from when you're in a relationship that's abusive. Okay? Write that down. You can never create a life you don't need a vacation from when you're in a relationship that is abusive. Why, Ricardo, why are you focusing on this relationship thing? It's impossible for me to talk effective living and not talk relationship. It's impossible for me not to address the fact that there are people who they have a lot going for them, but they also find themselves now feeling handcuffed into a bad situation. And how society is formed, it's amazing that we won't want to leave a bad thing because of how it will look. But we know it's a bad thing. But most people haven't been developed or taught to even like themselves enough to make sure that they're okay, because they believe they're not okay if they're not with someone. But the person you're with, if they're abusive, you're better off by yourself than to be with someone who's abusing you. Run from a relationship that is abusive. I had to tell one dude the other day, man. I was talking to them, and this lady, I mean, I said, man, listen, man, I will. Let me know. Hey, she could be my sister. Okay. If I get word of you hitting this woman again, bro, it's gonna be between you and me. Because as a matter of fact, I think she should still press charges on you. He got up and left. I still believe that. Now, guess what? She got up and left with him. But I don't condone abuse on any means, on any level. Some dude hitting you, some dude verbally abusing you, some dude emotionally taking advantage of you, you need to leave. Now, here's the deal. That's easier said than done, because the reality of it is some people have conditioned themselves to accept bad behavior. And even when they discover the truth, they don't want to do the work that requires them to get out of what is hurting them. And that's unfortunate. Number 9, you change yourself to be what they want. Okay? Number 9, you change yourself to be what they want. Now, here's the deal. I'm a strong believer. We should inspire each other. I'm a strong believer. We shall encourage each other to be better. Okay? When I connect with you, you should make me better. When you connect with me, I should make you better. We should make each other better. I believe that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you change yourself because it's a demand. It's my way or the highway. You ain't wearing that. Okay? You ain't no. Change your hair. I don't like that kind of hairstyle. You need to do this. You need it's a demand. It's a command. You're in no relationship for no command. There's no demand here. I'm not a slave. You don't own me. Male or female. And the relationship should be healthy enough to where there is no command. There is no demand. There is no instruction that is forced upon me that brings me to a place where I am doing something only because you want it, but I don't want it, but I'm doing it because you want it. That's abusive. That's not good, and you ought to run. Do you agree? I'm just trying to help. Now, here's the deal. There's so much I was not told growing up. I mean, wherever, however. But I'm extremely grateful now for a society that's now bringing conversation to the forefront and allowing us to know that there is healthy ways of living and then there's unhealthy ways of living. But here's what I believe. Overall, if you get my book, Effective Living, this book talks about really doing the work for you. Okay? Doing the work for you. The reason why a lot of people stay in an unhealthy relationship is because they don't really quite have it together when it comes to themselves. And they settle for stuff that they should not have settled and accept. I believe if you do enough work for you, you're going to make sure that, listen, guys, you position yourself where you can move forward and leave anything that's not good for you. You want to distance yourself from anything that's not healthy, that's relating itself to you. Move, distance yourself, run, okay? But if someone is forcing you to change, that's a problem, okay? That's a problem. Now, I'm a strong believer, once again. I believe that the male should add value to the female and the female should add value to the male, but I don't think it should be forced upon them. That's my opinion. I'm sticking with it. Okay? And the last one is you're in the relationship, but it's an unhealthy relationship because you're unhappy. You're just outright not happy. You have not smiled in a while. You've not felt alive in a while. You're just going through the motion. And when I say you're going through the motion, because there are a number of other things that's causing you to not feel happy. Okay? And I'm talking about a number of things that's occurring in the relationship that is zapping the life out of you. And so now you're unhappy, but you're in a relationship, but you can't even genuinely smile. As a matter of fact, you thank God when your girlfriends or your boys called you to connect, and you now can hang with the guys because now, I'm now hanging with the guys. Oh, this feels great. Oh, I can't wait for my girls' night out because this feels great. And let me tell you something. Whenever you find yourself in a space where the air in the room gets sucked out by the energy of someone else coming in the room, that's an unhealthy type of environment. It's an unhealthy type of environment. And you got to know what is good for you and what's not good for you. I like the time that we're living in is because you can learn. Ooh, I'm learning so much. You can learn. I can learn about me, and I can learn what works best for me and what doesn't work best for me. And here's the deal. Everything about me won't connect with everyone else. It's not supposed to. Okay? I'm not for everyone and everyone's not for me. But what you got to know is you got to guard yourself. And you got to tell yourself, I deserve happiness. As a matter of fact, here's the deal. You got to do what you need to do to make sure that that happiness is not external. That is internal. And that means you feel good and you're okay if you need to be all by yourself. If that's what it's going to take for you to get in your healthy and happy state, go for it. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to stay in an unhealthy environment only because I want to be in a relationship. That don't make no sense. It doesn't help you, and it doesn't help your children, and it doesn't help humanity. At the end of the day, when you're in an unhealthy relationship, it affects your performance, it affects your children, it affects your health. Oh my goodness, it affects everything. But in order for you to get out of an unhealthy relationship, you got to get healthy in knowing that you want to be healthy in every sense of the word, and you're not hiding, you're not in denial, you're not trying to fit in what should not be fit in because it is not right. Ricardo Miller is done. If you have any other tip that you believe is a point that needs to be highlighted, go ahead and highlight it. I see there's comma there, manipulation and control. Manipulation and control. Pay attention to anybody who wants to control you. Anybody who is manipulative. Come on. Anybody that you see in that area, oh my goodness, run. If you enjoyed this, give me a thumbs up. Go ahead, leave a comment below. Let me know what point stood out to you the most. Let me know if there's something that I missed. And maybe when I do this conversation again, because I'm going to have a panel, I'm going to bring some other people in, and we're going to talk about this right here on my YouTube channel. So if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. I want to know that the information that we're giving, it's opening the eyes of others that need their eyes to be open, and that will bring them to a place where, you know, you start feeling, experiencing, and accepting the fact that the truth, when it's given and received and applied, you start to feel free. Whom the Son set free is free indeed. You want to be in a good place. There's a place that's good for you. It's called effective living. Bye-bye, guys.